Hi everybody, it's Katie with Universal Ostrich Farm. My lives have been harder and harder to do some days because there's just so much going on, but it's good and we're pushing forward. So we are 270 days, happy, healthy ostriches, but 258 days, the ostriches were in our care. And that's when they were the happiest and that's when they were the healthiest. I want to just make a couple points on a few things. There's a ton of fake profiles of me. Please, I will never ask you for money. I'm never gonna, I don't know, ask you to click different links to go somewhere, or you're gonna get updates from me and things that I've shared that I trust. But there's a lot of fake profiles. So if you know that it's not me, please report them. Where we are our injured birds. We are demanding from the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to please let us know where our injured birds are from the pen that you push them out of. We are asking the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to please let us do an independent count on our animals. We are concerned about the amount of animals that we have out there, and we want to know that our animals are still there and that there is truth, honesty, transparency, while the animals that are our animals on our property, that they are still there and that you have not acted against any of our interim stay order mandates that we've had put in from the Supreme Court of Canada while they make the decision whether they will hear our case or not. We are still waiting on Supreme Court. There is no dates on that. We are just waiting, and we will see when Supreme Court of Canada makes the decision whether or not they're going to hear our case. So let's just hang in there together. We're still all waiting, and this is where God has taught us about patience. Patience is a virtue, because as long as we don't have a verdict, our animals are still out there and alive. But we do want to make sure that the welfare of our animals is still being maintained at the level that we would be maintaining them. We do have winter coming. Our animals are going to need bedding, and they are going to need different necessities out there. Our waters will need to be winterized, and this will have to be done in accordance with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and kept up to our standards. So they are our animals. They are not yours, Canadian Food Inspection Agency. They are our animals. And we are fighting for their survival. They are caught in a trade war, trade politics. And it was made very clear that every one of those animals still has to die, even if they tested negative, because of our trading partner policies. A little update, I guess. There's been a lot of stuff said. Sorry. We're on the farm, obviously, as you can hear. Those spreading hate and division, I wrote a little thing. I'm trying to just make it clear and sum it up. For those spreading hate and division and distortion about who we are and what we stand for, there's images on this Universal Ostrich exposed in hate groups. Your words will not shake our purpose. Your words, your images, your lies, that does not shake what we are standing for and what we are fighting for. For 10 long months, our family, our friends, and our supporters have stood on this land day and night to protect innocent life, not for fame, not for politics, but because it's the right thing to do. Be the voice for those that don't have one. And sometimes, like people like you guys who are the hate group and creating those groups, maybe you have too much of a voice and you really need to go find something else to do with your time that could be productive. And maybe if you put 1/10 of what you're doing into the hate, you would be surprised at what good you could bring to the world and what you could stand for. This isn't about a movement. It's about morality. It's about our morals. It's about farmers, mothers, fathers, families across the country who work 365 days a year, dedicated to care for their land, feed people, defend their animals, and we are not extremists. It's a great word. Maybe we're an extreme group of passionate people who care about life, but we're not extremists in the way that you use that term. We are the backbone of our country. We are the ones who rise before dawn and who pour our savings and sweat and souls into our farms and trying to keep Canada fed, our children fed, our grandchildren fed, and coming up with new innovation that could protect humanity and come up with a better way than the reliance on vaccinations. The broken policy of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency of the stamping out policy has been in operation for about 21 years, decades, and it isn't helping. It's killed millions of healthy animals that have never been tested. PCR tests that they have claimed that have worked, that we know how well PCR tests are, ran at high cycles. And we need to, I'm just writing through my notes, I don't want to miss anything, we can't justify mass slaughtering as the all end all. And we do know that mass slaughtering of these animals under the stamping of policy is it's not the only binary approach. There is testing, there's isolation, monitoring, testing again. But here we jump to stamping out. So that was a decision made by CFIA that operates with excessive freedom and no accountability, and they have no oversight. So we have offered transparency, data, testing, collaboration every step of the way with the FDA, NIH, and our farm. Instead of partnership, our farm and our family have been met with silence and complete arrogance. The truth doesn't need a public relations campaign. It needs honesty, and it needs transparency, and it needs a family just like ours that has just decided that we were going to buckle down, and we were going to take no for an answer, and we were going to protect our animals at all costs. And one day, when we look back, and when the world looks back, we're going to see families who stood firm were the ones standing on the right side of history. My mind has been full. We have to talk about a better way. And I've been researching and offering stuff online that has just offering even to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency that all we need to do is a policy change where nations can trade while we test, while we monitor, while we isolate, instead of killing everything. I know it sounds maybe complicated, but it's not really. It just takes a change in the policy to be able to do that. A policy that has existed, like I said, more than 20 years. H5N1 is now an endemic. It is in our migratory birds all over the world, and among those wild birds across North America, the total exclusion of wildlife, or excluding killing everything from that has open air, any animal that is in open air, is absolutely absurd. We're never going to kill every animal out there that is exposed to open air because they're exposed to migratory birds. So what are we doing? Killing off every one of our healthy, surviving herd immunity animals across Canada. We are jeopardizing biodiversity, we're jeopardizing genetic diversity, we're jeopardizing the future of our Canadian farmers, our children's future, our grandchildren's future in sustainable, healthy food, and we need to band together. We are a layered cake here, that is for sure. A layered cake of controversy, and we've become one of the most controversial farms, I think, in Canada, but we have garnered the most international support that has been so incredible. In that cake is a layer of the corruption behind Big Pharma, and maybe they really don't want us here because we have something that they could use, or that would go against, and they could probably use too. That would be scary if they misused it. But we have something here that puts their reliance on vaccinations at risk, because we're offering a sustainable natural solution to for viruses and diseases in the future rather than the reliance on vaccinations. So there's a layer. Then there's the layer of trading and the layer of protecting our Canadian food or Canadian Poultry Association, because it is one of our biggest items that we export for food is our chicken. And we are protecting them above all of the rest of us. Now, there's another layer, the layer to bureaucratic oversight, to no oversight or no overseeing over the Canadian Inspection Agency and allowing them to operate with excessive freedom. That's another layer. The organization or the agency of Canadian Food Inspection Agency getting to make up their own rules as they go. We had the RCMP here, and when they went to go do a count for us of our animals and just bring us back a count, just to settle our minds and settle our hearts that they're all still out there, that they came back this morning and said they couldn't do that. They got reprimanded by the RCMP and they were in a lot of trouble because Canadian Food Inspection Agency basically told them, how dare they go and put a drone up in the sky and think that they were going to give our family a count on our animals to put our minds at ease. Do you see the problem there? Because the RCMP are even starting to see the problem. How can this agency, Canadian Food Inspection Agency, have so much freedom that they actually don't answer to anybody? The RCMP should not be here just to protect the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and allow them to hide behind them. They should be here for us as well. And that has been another thing that, we've all been scratching our heads. So the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is denying us a count from the RCMP, even though they already took the drone footage and they had all of the images. They will not allow them to give us a number. So Canadian Food Inspection Agency, we are demanding from you a count on our ostriches. We want to know how many are out there. We want to know where our injured ones are, and that should not be too hard to ask. They are our animals. They are not yours. You are here and you are their caregivers right now, but we are waiting for Supreme Court to answer if they're going to hear our case. And until then, you need to answer to us. And I think that's fair. We are asking for nothing more than a better way. We are hanging in there. Obviously, we have amazing people here. We have great supporters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for pouring in the food. Micah Farms, thank you so much for the mushrooms that came today. We are going to make some soups and good warm foods for everybody here. Micah Farms out of Aldergrove, thank you so very much for the mushrooms. Thank you to all of those who continuously pour in groceries to the farm for people to continuously eat out there, have hot coffee in the morning, and just be here to support saving the ostriches, standing up for freedom and our land rights and farmers across Canada while we try to change a policy that is not law. It is not law. It is meant to be changed and evolve while we evolve. And so thank you. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for the donations. It is all going to our legal expenses, our farm costs, and we're still bringing in grain and food for the ostriches. So that is what the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is supposed to be feeding them. And thank you. Thank you. The prayers, with prayer comes God, with God comes miracles, with miracles comes the need, every need met. And thank you for that. There is a lot of division online. Mainstream media has been very, very, very bad. And let's keep our eye on the prize. Life and a new way. Hope for Canadians and a new agency that's going to help protect us, not destroy us. And stepping back into our own. We're a beautiful country. And we just have to be reminded that we don't need to wait for the government to make it the way we want it again. We can do that together. So let's use our resources, our companies, our voices, and let's protect one another like we've been doing for 10 months. You are amazing. I love you. And you get us through some of the hardest times of the day, some of the biggest tears. we'll just get these amazing letters that'll come in, or a hug from somebody, and you go from feeling so small to feeling like there's a whole world out there that's right behind you. Even though we know there's a world out there that is standing with us, there's a lot of times in the day that are very lonely. Even though there's a lot of people here, there's a lot of times in the day that feel pretty lonely. And but we feel great. So I love you. Thank you. And to those who try to divide Canadians using hateful words and false narratives and edited images, just know that we stand stronger together, which I always say. We stand in faith, not fear. We stand in love, not anger. We stand in truth and not politics. And we stand for a better way. So, science, not speculation. Discovery, not division. We're just standing up for you, for a better Canada, a better way to protect our Canadian agricultural sector, which is the backbone to our country. So, God bless. Have an amazing night. And I will take some pictures and videos tomorrow with the birds. I know you guys are already getting a lot, so you probably don't need too many more from me. When I go out there, I like to look at them and be present. And I shed quite a few tears because we miss them. And we are ready to go back. We're ready to have our babies back. So let's keep fighting. And it's Thanksgiving this weekend. There's going to be a lot to be thankful for. There already is. Tomorrow's Miracle Friday. Did you know that? It's Miracle Friday. Every day is a miracle. And we've been blessed with them every day. So tomorrow's have an amazing Friday morning. Have a great night tonight. And we love you. From Edgewood, British Columbia, Universal Ostrich Farms, 301 Langell Road. We love you. God bless.